this. We're just like, oh, hey, we're live.
Yeah, hey, we're on.
Yeah, literally what I just said. Hey, we're live.
Or like last week where I was like, oh shit, I X'd out like right away.
Yeah, welcome back to our living rooms. Guess we're gonna skip the formalities. No formal
Yeah,
introduction.
we're on.
We're on. We've been on. You're listening to us babble.
Yeah, that's fine. It's good TV that way.
I had two friends that told me they want to listen to this. And I'm like, really? Are you sure?
Dude,
It's just
uh,
me and my friend going on for like sometimes 3 hours, and I don't even know what we talk about half the time.
yeah, it's like what I learned. Probably nothing, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. You just
I mean, are these
people
friends?
learn a lot about our opinions.
Do they like the fact that they probably like the fact that I razz on you for like 2.5 of those 3 hours too?
Yeah, decent amount. Decent amount.
It's just because you're Philly from Philly. That's all it is.
Hey,
Yeah, so
not the Eagles today. Represent a different football team.
Are they really? That's really their main colors. It's the old Philadelphia Eagles colors.
This
60.
is their alternative kit. This was this year's special, so they went like heavy on the neon. The lightning bolts are meant
Like
to
I said,
represent like Ben Franklin.
I met the whole like blue and yellow, like the old Eagles jerseys, like they had like.
Oh yeah. No, this isn't their normal blue and
Okay,
yellow.
I was
They
gonna
have
say-
like it's more like a darker blue and a gold.
I still love my late father's comments about all these retro jerseys that came in this time. I was like, there's a reason why they burned them like 50 years ago. Like regardless.
Somebody was just saying that recently about the baseball jerseys. They're like a majority of baseball jerseys are like the retro baseball jerseys. Sorry, I had a bug on my foot. Majority, yeah, because we're live. Nothing goes wrong when you're live.
Absolutely not.
Majority of these retro baseball jerseys, like I was having this conversation with someone, they're like, yeah, like a bunch of them, they just need to go. They're terrible. There's a reason why like they got put away. Like I can agree with that. I think some of them are better than others. I mean, I will contest till the day that I die that the Phillies baby blue, I think that should be their everyday regular uniform.
Those are fine. I mean, it's not, but like the Philly Eagles baby blue. No.
Yeah, no.
Incinerator.
No one needs to go back to that
That's
blue and yellow.
That's why they play those games. They were on radio.
Nobody had to see it.
Yeah, except the people in the stands are like, they're like, oh Jesus Christ, my eyes.
The monstrosity. Yeah, I remember seeing pictures of that.
Yeah,
and it
I remember
definitely
McNabb was, it's like, what the hell were they thinking?
It makes you want to ask the question of what was that person on or those people on when they thought that it was a good idea.
I mean, it's like watching if you can ever look up like the old Tecmo Bowl game, like the OG one, like '87.
No.
And they've got the players' names, but they don't have the logos yet.
Mm-hmm.
You should just look up the logos they got for the teams that made the playoffs that year. I think it was, and they're not close at all.
So basically, like WWE 2K and their horrible renders.
No. I think the 2K renders are better.
Oh, that's saying something.
I think some team was like the Ponies and it was like Dallas or something like that. You just had to see it. It was just like, yeah, it was like not close. It's like they got
technology has advanced since then.
Well, it's the fact that they had the NFLPA license, but they didn't have like the team logos like trademarked and.
Oh, so they weren't even allowed to use the team logos.
No.
Oh, so they intentionally were. I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but they had like the Indianapolis Colts. They had the Dallas Cowboys.
So they had some, but not others.
No, they had them all, but they didn't have the logo.
Oh, so I see what you're saying. They could use the team name, but they couldn't use the team logo. So they came up with whatever they wanted.
Yes.
That's really funny.
And it's amazingly bad.
It's raining in New England too.
Well, I can give you.
They're all out here with their cute little umbrellas.
I give you 3 guesses where it came from.
Yeah, it worked its way.
Yeah. So I wake up again. This is what it feels like to be in a car wash. God.
I legitimately, this is how dumb I am. I completely forgot that it was a home game. I legitimately thought that you got stuck in a car wash for 3 hours. And I was wondering, I'm like, did the car wash break? Like, did something malfunction? Were they showing a movie inside the car wash? Like, I legitimately thought that you were stuck in a car wash.
Ladies and gentlemen, my co-host is college educated. Everyone,
See, this is why he makes fun of me. Sometimes it's warranted.
yeah, that's because you're breathing, Mary Lee. That's because you're breathing. But I can do a really good impression of you. Did you know that? You want to see my impression of you? It's really good. Want to see it?
Yeah, I want to see
it. Way over your head.
If we weren't on air, it would have done something a little different.
We are on air.
I said if we weren't on air.
But come on, Eli Manning did it.
That's true. There's a whole big controversy.
Yeah, I think that's why they sent him to 10 games, because it was like, Eli Manning's like subtle.
Because wasn't the whole thing he didn't realize that they were still.
Yeah. Well, have you watched it at all?
Yes, it's fantastic.
Well, the greatest thing to me is like Payne's actually watching it on TV.
Yeah.
Eli's got his golf simulator up. He's watching it on that.
Eli's barely watching the game. Like Peyton is responding to the game. Eli's just there to troll Peyton.
The best thing about Julius Peyton is like the older brother to a T. He's not letting Eli talk at all.
That's true. They gotta get Archie on, or not Archie on. They gotta get Cooper on one of these days, because they had Archie on last week.
Cooper's freaking hilarious if you've never heard him.
They gotta get Coop on. Oh, I have. That's why I think he should be on there. He'd be great.
The Manning Hour minus 58 minutes.
Yeah.
You gotta watch the one with him and like Kyle Williams, and they mention like chicken wings. He's like, you mentioned something about like how you have to like suck the sauce off, and it's all you have to do. And it was like, and they made like some kind of Rex Ryan foot bash reference. Oh my god, you guys are throwing off the air.
Oh, poor Rex Ryan.
I do miss Rex's press conferences.
Sexy Rexy.
So I as a person, I think he's an amazing person, but like as a coach, no.
Well, he comes from good stock.
Oh god, between him and his dad, with his dad.
His Papa Bear was quite the character.
Yeah, I think
better coach.
I think that's why they've been taped away. and Kevin Gilbride did not learn how to duck.
Yeah, never.
I mean, that's how Buddy Ryan ended his career. I think his claim to fame, I think more than coaching the Eagles, more than coaching the Cardinals, is when he cold-cocked Kevin Gilbride on Sunday night.
I would say so. That's and pretty memorable.
And if people don't know, they were on the same coaching staff.
So it makes it even better. Hey, it's Philadelphia. It's what we do. We throw snowballs at Santa.
Wait, you've heard that too? Really?
I'm just gonna get it out of the way before you have a chance to say it. I'm just gonna put it out there, get it out of the way.
But there's other things you've done over the years too, especially players. that they've heard stories from like Tug McGraw giving finger to the fans after he hits a home run.
Okay, I repeat. And I said this to somebody the other day, and I will say this as many times as it takes. People literally die in Dodger Stadium. They die outside of Dodger Stadium. Why are we? Why exactly? Why are we still harping on the fact that Philadelphia fans maybe we throw a snowball out? Like, people are literally dying out, and I'm not saying this to make fun of it. It sounds like it based on my tone, but it's more a tone of being fed up.
And I'm laughing.
Why don't we talk about these legitimate murders and people dying because they've gotten beaten so bad, and all we can focus on is stupid throwing snowballs at Santa? Let it go. It's done. It's over. We've beaten the horse. We've beaten the dead horse so many times. It just died outside of Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, no, they're done.
This is what happens when we go off script. Today is a no script day.
I think we do better on our no script days, to be honest with you.
It's just our authentic, genuine selves.
Yeah, we're making fun of dead people, and Philadelphia's a given, but god damn.
Fans don't die outside of our games. Fans don't fall. Did you hear about what happened in San Diego? The fan and the kid?
Yeah.
The mother and child?
Yeah, it fell like all the way from the top of it. And then Petco's a gigantic stadium. I mean, CBP is a good sized stadium. I think Petco's bigger, like just like its height.
I've never heard of anybody falling off, being pushed off of Citizens Bank Park.
Oh, funny story about that. It actually happened at a Bills game, like a primetime game.
Seriously?
Yeah, I fell from the top level to the bottom.
Jeez.
Got arrested.
How did they not die?
He was a little inebriated.
But to fall from the top to the bottom, like I'm assuming he would have had to been injured.
Oh yeah, but
Like,
he got arrested at the game. He got banned from the stadium for life because he was sliding down the rail and he fell down,
uh,
and he got fired from his job.
that's pretty impressive.
But yeah, there's like it was like announced like it was mentioned like 2 weeks in the news cycle up here, and that was it. The fact that he got fired from his job for being stupid and
Yeah.
falling like falling like
Well,
100 feet.
that's a really dumb thing to do. And like, if I was the employee of somebody and my employer found out, like, if I did something that dumb, I'd be like, this person's a liability on the job. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Thanks for no thanks.
Yeah, not worth it.
Yeah. So like there was that. Like, yeah, I did hear about that one, like the mother and child that fell off. They passed away, right? Or
Yeah.
yeah.
They were pronounced dead on the scene. It was
But
very sad. But they
like I
were
said,
looking into to see if there was foul play, and I haven't heard anything one way or the
neither have
other.
I. I mean, like I said, that Sam's massive height. I'm not surprised at all. I mean, in all seriousness, like
The only thing that I can think of what happened is the kid went over. The kid started to fall, and the mom tried to reach to save
as
the
a mom,
kid, as a mother would do.
grab
Like,
the kid.
I
The kid
don't
fell
want
over.
to believe that the mother did anything to hurt the child intentionally.
Oh, the 2-year-old.
Yeah, don't want to believe that. Don't want to believe that somebody would
Oh,
have pushed a woman and her young child
well, in Philly, maybe.
dying outside of Dodger Stadium.
That's because it was a
People
Giants
don't
fan.
die outside of the link. They don't die
I
outside of
could
Citizens Bank Park. We've never killed a Dallas fan. We've never killed a Mets fan.
I think that's because there's only like 3 Mets fans, especially after this year.
Well, that is a very true, very fair point. The Mets made history this year.
Yeah,
They
I heard it.
became the first team ever to lead the division for at least 100 days and to finish with a losing record.
Yeah, I saw that too. It's 103 to be exact.
Mets gonna Mets.
I sent that to my friend who's a Mets fan. She was not too happy with me.
Hey, it is what it is. But to the favor of the Mets, they still have a good team. They had a lot of injuries this year. They didn't have the core of their pitching staff for pretty much all of it. Francisco Lindor is not going to be bad again. Well, yeah, that part's bad that they completely, Javi Baez did not make them any better, and I don't think he's staying. I think he's going to end up in a different New York team if we're being honest.
I don't think they will.
He's either gone to LA or he's gone to New York.
I can see LA more so.
I don't like his personality. I think he has to go to a personality city.
He'll go to the good old roller derby team.
Yeah, who knows what their name will be.
I don't get it, but it's like, don't you research shit like that? I mean, I know it's an old story, but I really don't.
It's not even that hard because all you would have had to do was Google. Like, if I'm going to create a team, one of the first things that I do to do market research is I Google the name. And I see, not even necessarily, I'm not looking for other sports teams that have the name. I'm just looking to see what's out there. Is the domain available? Is there something like bad associated with Cleveland Guardians? Like, is this something that like there's a bad history there? Like, you do that research and then you pick the team name.
You don't
announce the team name publicly and not even know at the time. You only find out because a roller derby team tells you, hey, we had this name first.
And the website.
How does a professional sports organization?
Because it's Cleveland.
I think
we should cross Cleveland on the box next time.
This is why we don't have any listeners, because we're just checking the boxes off of all the people that aren't going to listen to us anymore.
Yeah, I told my therapist that we like burn a bridge like a major city in the country every week.
It's part of our charm.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, okay, Cleveland's not coming on now. What else do we want to piss off tonight?
I mean, in all fairness, I don't actually know anyone from Cleveland, nor would I want to. So,
and honestly, they are like this. I don't know if I told you, they are like the slowest winners ever. Like I went to back-to-back years with Bills Browns games in Cleveland.
Oof.
a one o'clock game was the first one. They lost like 24-14 or something like that. They're like, oh yeah, good luck, good luck. You know, good luck. Your team looks pretty good this year. I mean, Grant, you of us made the playoffs. We were absolutely shit both of years. Both of us were. So the following year, we have a Thursday night game. Cleveland wins, like it's a like, physical game. You thought they won the Super Bowl. They were pushing people aside. They were Bills fans. It's like you guys know you won, right?
Oh, interesting. So not Philadelphia. The game did not take place in Philadelphia, and there were
Well,
altercations.
it may have been transported to Philadelphia though.
But
Like,
okay, so from a Browns fan standpoint, though, at that point in time, I get it. You didn't win that many games. Every win would have been treated
but
like
still,
the greatest thing in the world. Because if
but,
you're a fan, you
but,
probably went to a lot of games that year and you did not win a single one. Like
but
those
the
were lean Browns teams.
but yet you are gracious in fate, but like you're like the worst person ever when you win. Okay.
They didn't win a lot. They didn't know how to be gracious in victory. They only
I
knew
still
defeat. And when
I
you
st-
lose 15, 16,
I
20, 30 games over a 2-year span,
I love
you kind of, it all builds up and you just want to be excited about a win.
you know the worst loss in franchise history is
What's that?
when the game they came back for week one, the 1999 season versus Pittsburgh on Monday Night Football when they lost 43-0 at home.
Oof.
Yeah,
Hard to believe that in all of the years since, because there have been some bad Browns teams
and
that they
yeah,
haven't lost worse than. I mean, losing 43-0 is hard. Like that, it's
well,
hard in an NFL game not to score because you get to a point where the
especially with how
score.
much emotion was in
Well,
that game.
that too, but like even just in general, you get to the point where the score is so lopsided that the other team takes off the gas. Like there is a reason why they call it a garbage time touchdown because
I
the
know
other
one team that
team doesn't care.
I
Pittsburgh
know it.
clearly cared.
No, I don't think they. Honestly, God, they really didn't.
Either that or they were just that much better.
That happened today in a certain game I was at.
Yeah, like even not trying, like you're not
Like
necessarily trying to score. You just kind
they
of comes to you because the other team is that bad.
that like it happened today in Buffalo. Like the Bills were 19-0 going to the fourth quarter. They won 40-0. If you didn't see the
I don't
final score,
understand how Houston was competitive. I mean, 19-0 is not close,
they
but it's not a
they
blowout either.
the
How were you
monsoon
competitive for 3 quarters and then literally
just
did you
stopped
just
playing.
decide to play? Like to stop playing? You just were done?
Well, the Bills couldn't score a touchdown on the red zone to save their life. But either way, like the funniest thing about the game was like, here's the stat I was telling you about. I was alluding to when we were talking in pregame and pre-show and all that. The Browns the Texans did set a record today. The fewest amount of yards, the fewest net passing yards in a football game in the first half since 1999.
Well, that's not a record.
Negative 23.
I hate when people do that though. Since 1999, if it was
But
a
still,
record, it would be ever in the history
I
of football.
it's the most for any team, but still, that's insane though.
Sure, since 1999. Yeah.
That was probably the Browns.
Qualify it a little better. Next time you tell me somebody sets a record, I was expecting this to be like historic, not like it's just the best in like
have you
30 years.
seen Davis Mills by any chance?
No.
He's actually 5'10", but his neck makes him 6'5".
Yeah, he's terrible.
Instead of like how like most like linebackers have no neck.
Yeah.
This dude's got like a neck like this freaking big.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's hilariously bad.
But like you talk about a football team that's not trying to win games.
I give you the Houston Texans.
I don't know who they're, I don't know who the big draft pick's gonna be this year. I don't, it's no suck for luck or tank for Tua. Like I don't know what's
there's an edge rusher, but I don't think they're gonna hire quarterbacks. The whole Deshaun Watson fiasco, and I don't know.
He's not coming back. Okay, even
is he coming to Philly?
I hope not. Even if so here's my take on Deshaun Watson. Even if all 27, however many allegations there are, even if they all go away and they're all proven to be, even if he's innocent, innocent until proven guilty, he has the right to make his case. Every single one of those accusing him have the right to make theirs. And at the end of the day, a court's going to decide however it shakes out. The man is not playing for the Houston Texans ever again. He does not want to. He will hold out before he plays another game for the Texans. He does not want to come to Philadelphia. People neglect this part. Like, he would have to be traded. He has a no trade clause. He would have to approve a trade. He does not want to come to Philadelphia. As a free agent, he's not going to choose Philadelphia. And this is all barring if he plays. I personally do not think he will. I think he is most likely guilty. I can't believe that many people are all making it up.
It's like the Joey Ryan talk.
Well, he got screwed. He's done. He did supposedly did what he did.
Well, what I'm saying is, though, if it's 1 or 2, maybe I'll discredit it. But if it's over 10, let alone 20, like 27,
it's very hard to believe that every single one of those people is making this story up just to get the guy. Now, I heard the most ludicrous thing. Literally the dumbest, and this person is a dumb individual. I'm not going to mention them by name. No, a person I know. Not that they are ever going to listen to this podcast. I'll tell my friends. I'll be like, hey, listen to the podcast. You'll know who I'm talking about. But literally, this guy says in a group chat that we're in that he heard and believes that the Texans are fabricating allegations against Watson to screw him. Now, make sense of this to me. The Texans benefit nothing by Deshaun Watson being a accused sexual predator. And here's why. He does not want to play for Houston anymore, so that's fine. Houston can't win that part of it, regardless of whether he plays for them and he doesn't want to play, or he doesn't play for them and they're trying to trade him. But here's the part where it gets absolutely, not to mention the fact I don't ever believe a professional sports team would fabricate evidence against a player. That's all kinds of levels of stupid and illegal and unethical and all that. But here's where it gets really dumb. If you have Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson has expressed that he does not want to play for you anymore. Deshaun Watson is a top 5, maybe, definitely top 10 quarterback in this NFL.
I'll go with number 7.
You can trade him and get whatever you want, essentially. Like the talk with when Philadelphia was interested. So the Eagles have potentially 3 first-round draft picks this year. Right. We would have to give up every single one
and players
and some to get Deshaun Watson. So Houston could get whatever they want. Why on earth would you defame someone's character, completely ruin their reputation, make it so that other teams aren't interested? Because there were a lot of teams, when Deshaun Watson first said he wanted to trade before all these allegations came out, there were tons of teams that were interested. Everybody wanted a piece of this because they know that he instantly makes your team better. Why would the Texans ruin their chances to get the best out of it? Because guess what? He's going to be a free agent. They're going to get nothing. They're literally going to get nothing when he walks. So if he ever plays football again, they get nothing for it. So dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I'd be curious to see if they enact the morality clause and try to get the money back that way.
It's possible, but it's still really dumb that somebody would suggest that.
You should smack that person. I will pay you money for that.
If I ever see them in person again, I will.
I'll give you the baseball bat to help you out with too. I mean, your hand. I don't want you to break your hand. Use a baseball bat.
Just dumb. I mean, this person says dumb things all the time, but I was like,
are they just doing dumb to be attention whores, or?
I really don't think so. I really think that they're legitimately that dumb. I mean, this person is a sports talk radio. They will literally just parrot whatever the talking heads say, whatever the callers say, whether it's dumb or whether it's not. So it's like, of all the dumb things, though, that you could say and believe, do you honestly believe this one? It doesn't even make sense.
The only thing I would
believe... If it made sense, then sure. But the Texans have nothing to gain by fabricating evidence.
I don't think they fabricate. I think they just let them like they definitely let them high and dry. Like they're not helping him by any means.
What are they supposed to do, though?
Well, usually teams will help you get a good lawyer to represent you.
He has his own representation.
That makes it even worse.
And think about it. If I'm Houston, even if Deshaun Watson wanted to stay with the Texans and he was happy there, if I'm Houston and these allegations are starting to add up, you
I would
distance yourself.
but if I'm Houston, I get the best lawyers I can get.
I don't know. I feel like that's when you start to see organizations distance themselves from
Well,
players.
I've seen it since
Like
like the
formally, you come out with the statement saying we stand behind such and such, until an investigation, blah blah blah, all that nonsense. But I think
well I
internally, you're like,
well
yeah, this is not going to go well for us.
I just meant for the sake of like getting what you can get back from him. Hopefully, scrub as much as you can out of the record.
No, true, but
That's what I mean. But other than that, but with this, you're not going to.
yeah, I honestly don't think he will. And even in an NFL which let a lot of bad people back in it, I don't think he plays another game.
I
If
could see
if
it.
he's found guilty, I don't think he plays another game.
I
And
think he's
I
not
do
found
think
guilty. I
he's going to
think
be
teams
found
are like,
guilty.
I think teams are like, I don't want that stigma.
If he's not found guilty, there will be some team somewhere that takes a chance on him. And that's not to say you shouldn't. Like Michael Vick went to prison and got to play football afterwards. But whole different situation. And I don't want to hear one more person compare them to me because here's the Philadelphia connection. Oh, the Eagles got Michael Vick and he's an ex-con.
Well,
Michael Vick
also
fought
served his time.
dogs. I'm not saying that dogs aren't great. Dogs are wonderful. But I'm sorry if you think that fighting dogs and sexually harassing, potentially raping women are of the same category, then I don't want to hear your opinion. And yes, to your point, and this is where I always stood with Michael Vick because I don't agree with his actions. I think they were terrible. He did his time, and I genuinely believe that he is remorseful. I genuinely believe that he regrets what he did. He grew up in a certain environment and it was not uncommon. Was it wrong? Absolutely. Did he know it was wrong?
Too.
Probably. But when you grow up with that and everybody around you is doing it, there's a different level of like, yeah, it was wrong, it was bad, you shouldn't have done it. But at the same time, for him to get older and grow up and mature himself and realize like I always remember the story, and whether it was true or not, who knows? But the story was the hardest thing for him to do was have to tell I think it was his daughter, that they couldn't get a dog because legally he's not allowed to own one. Like that was one of the cases of his release. He's not allowed to own one. So to have to look your kid in the eye, you're not going to explain why, but basically tell them like, no, sorry, we can't get a puppy.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking. And I'm sure that affected him in such a way, but like he's reformed himself. He has become a model citizen. He has had not a single thing on his record since, the release from prison. Like he has done everything right. He's on TV. He does commentary. Yeah, he was going to say he's one of the like analysts or something. So clearly he has been rehabbed. And that's not to say that Deshaun Watson, if he goes to prison, if he's found guilty, that's not to say that he can't have a second chance. But I don't think
he'd be going to jail for a lot longer.
He'd be going to jail for a lot longer, as he should.
Right.
But I don't like. I kind of look at the Colin Kaepernick situation where he didn't even do anything illegal, and he's never going to play football again. Like every year, there are teams that need quarterbacks, and maybe not now because he's so far removed, but there was a period of time when he was the best available, and he just brought too much attention to himself, and it would have brought too much attention on the league. Deshaun Watson would be kind of the same thing.
Usually it's the person, like, I mean, Colin's case, it's like the person that starts the cause. Usually it's the one that dies on the cross, for lack of better words.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt. He suffered for what he believed was right, speaking out the way that he did. I mean, because look at it now. Now, players are allowed to kneel as much as they want. There's no fine. There's no, like, you literally, certain owners, I don't think, allow it, but they're like, hey, just don't come out. You're allowed to stay in the locker room. If you want to kneel, just don't come out on the field. So that's, the owner's choice for them to mandate, I guess, whatever they want. But yeah, like Colin Kaepernick basically got blackballed from the league for doing something now that anybody has the opportunity to do.
My whole gripe with it is the fact that, like, he's actually doing a constitutional protected thing. It's a totally legal thing. It didn't hurt anyone.
Yeah, he literally did nothing wrong. But he put attention on the NFL that the NFL did not want, because the NFL did not want to see themselves branded as an anti-police, anti-America organization. And that's not at all what the people interpreted the whole kneeling thing to mean what it did. And that was their interpretation. And guilty, that's the whole thing about being guilty by public opinion. The NFL, the kneeling itself, the kneeling itself could have been the most innocuous thing in the world. But if the fans decided that it meant X when really it meant Y, all that matters is the fans decided it meant X. Because if the fans believe something, they're not going to pay for tickets. They're not going to watch the games. They're not going to buy merchandise. And the NFL felt like it was in their best interest to basically come together and unofficially, but officially, blackball this guy from the league.
Yeah.
And that's completely off tangent from wherever we started with talking about this. I think there's current events that we could probably talk about that, Colin Kaepernick's story is kind of old, and at this point, like I said, he's not going anywhere, but
yeah, I mean, we're in the third quarter for Sunday night. It's still 7-6 New England. Tampa Bay hasn't done.
Yeah, it's been a barn burner.
Like I said, I told you off camera. I thought, honest to God, Brady was going to go in there for 60 hours, just because of last week with them losing.
So I had a feeling that I don't want to say I ever thought that the Patriots would lose, but losing Gronk is a lot bigger than I think a lot of people are giving credit
for. Especially how serious the injury is. You heard how bad it is.
Because
4 fractured ribs, a broken rib.
Yeah, he's going to miss a lot more than just 1 week.
I think he might be done for the year.
I don't know about done for the year. Maybe done for the year, but available for playoffs. I could see that as a possibility. I'm assuming they're still going to make the playoffs. They're still a pretty good team in a really terrible division. The Colts aren't going anywhere. The Colts look terrible. Did they win this week? I don't even know.
I think they did, actually.
What was the score? Actually, I don't
27-17 over Miami.
I don't really care about the score. What was the snap count? How much percentage of snaps did Carson Wentz play?
Did he even play this? I think he played this week.
He better play this week. Mm-hmm. I want that first round pick. I need him to play to get that first round pick.
Well, he's working on it, okay?
There's some website actually that's tracking the snaps that he takes, so that we can continue to watch and make sure that he's over that.
Yeah, he played. He was 20. He had a good day today too.
Oh, it's first one all year.
Yeah, 24 or 32. You know the funniest thing right now about Miami, and I mean this sincerely, they stress at the 2 weeks ago when the Bills played them. Since we haven't talked really this season at all, they made a big deal of hey, the way teams on the south side of the stadium, so all the sunlight goes there first. They wear Miami chooses to wear their whites, so they don't. There's other teams that wear dark colors and shit like that, right? And then then 2 weeks ago the Bills shut them off 35-0.
See, that only works if you're a good team.
Yeah, and
gimmicky stuff like that. If you're a good team, then you're giving yourself a little bit of an advantage. But ultimately, it's your work on the field that's going to win the day. The Dolphins are not a good team this year.
Well, that's because they
have an Alabama quarterback.
Not right now they don't. They have an NC State quarterback.
No, that's true.
But anyway, it's also because they wasted a first round pick on a pretty bad offensive lineman.
Yeah, that was a questionable choice.
Well, especially considering the fact it's funny because the Bills wrecked him that game. They both Brissett and Tua, because that guy Austin Jackson, he got wrecked in the Orange Bowl by AJ Pittman for the Bills when it was Iowa versus USC. I think he had 4 sacks in the Orange Bowl. Mm-hmm. And he just kept doing. They just kept working. He kept on blitzing on his side the entire game.
That's pretty funny. The Cowboys did that against the Eagles when they played. They put Diggs on Devontae Smith, two former Alabama teammates who knew, who knows who better, and Diggs completely shut out Smith all night. He wasn't able to get a single. He may have had a couple catches.
Diggs is
ultimately he's good.
He came on. He had 2 picks today.
I'm thinking maybe Depoy.
It'd been cool if he saw him in the Bills jersey just because it's butterflies for the team too. Jesus, I can't. I still can't go over the Kansas City Philadelphia score. It's 42-30. It's like I don't think anyone saw 72 points in the game.
No, like Kansas City scoring 42, not all that surprising. The fact that we were pretty much there with them the entire game, that was a little bit surprising. But Jalen Hurts had a really good game. He did a lot of things right. He showed, that he can be an accurate passer. Once again, we lost a touchdown because of a stupid receiver running out of bounds and then coming back in. This is 2 times this season that's happened. Would that have made the difference? No, probably not. Probably still going to lose because our defense couldn't stop Kansas City. But literally, it's maddening to have those kind of stupid penalties take back scores. And then, there was the terrible referee call, which was another thing. But yeah, it's just like one thing I don't like. Penalties are understandable to a degree. Stupid penalties are not. Running out of bounds and running back in and being ineligible, that's a stupid penalty that better. Like, and if you're the quarterback and you see that develop, you see that receiver get pushed out, you can't throw it to them. Like, there are rules, and I get it. He's essentially a rookie. He's learning. I do think he has shown the ability that he can be a decent NFL quarterback, but he's got to learn those elements of the game, and his wide receivers need to learn those elements of the game. It was Jalen Reagor earlier this year, and it was Devonta Smith today.
Speaking of rookie quarterbacks, do you see this, like, the impressive record Mr. Trevor Lawrence has?
The 0-3. 0-4 now. Yeah, that's right. And with like a bunch of interceptions, right?
Did you hear his college football and high school record all time?
Yeah, the opposite.
68-4. He goes 68-4 in his high school and college.
He's already lost more games in the NFL than he lost almost his entire life.
Oh no, literally all his life.
It's just crazy. But
so conceivably he's got to win like 5 years of football games to get even.
It's a different league. Hey, rookie, welcome to the NFL. Like, this is not college anymore. You are not by far the best player on the field.
Is just like, yeah.
Yeah, Jacksonville is terrible. They're doing him no favors.
And let's give him first year. I mean,
they probably should have beat Houston.
They should have probably Cincinnati too.
I don't know about that. Cincinnati has looked decent enough. Well, yeah, should they have beat them in terms of how the game developed? Sure. But like, just looking at it on paper, I had Cincy over Jacksonville.
It's like, I mean, they're also doing, I think they're also doing no favors by like, hey, yeah, we brought Urban Meyer from college football, who's never coached at any level.
Urban Meyer's terrible. My gosh, he's so bad.
I hear LA is nice this summer, by the way. I've been saying that for like the last 2 weeks. He's probably going to USC.
Yeah, he's going to be done in the NFL after this season.
I don't think he's going to be
season. If he even makes it through the season.
Honestly, God, I think he's going to pull Bobby Petrino. Like, for anyone that doesn't know, he's a scumbag, to say the nicest things about him. He played, you know how many games he coached for Atlanta?
No, I don't. 10.
And then he took that Arkansas job. And he signs this massive extension with Louisville. Goes like, oh, I'm gonna, and then Atlanta introduces the next head coach, I think, and then he goes to Louisville, then goes to Arkansas, gets in trouble. They fire him and goes back to Louisville.
Yeah, every single college coach that I can think of has failed in the NFL, and in some cases failed miserably.
I'm trying to think of a good one. Like, there has to be one like halfway decent one.
Like Nick Saban totally bombed out. One of the greatest college coaches of all time.
Arguably the greatest coach of all time.
Totally bombed out in the NFL. Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly
led one of the greatest offenses of all time in college football. That was just scoring an obscene amount of points. Totally failed in the NFL.
I'm pretty sure I sent you that Homer Simpson meme.
Yeah.
I said, look, Marge, I'm Coach Kelly.
Urban Meyer, totally failing in the NFL.
Doug Marrone.
Yeah, he did not do well. Is not doing well.
He had a winning record in Buffalo. Then it's like, oh, I'm gonna opt out and take my business elsewhere and chokes on it.
You know what? I do have an exception to the rule. One exception that still there's time to figure out. But so far, Matt Rule is doing okay.
Well, I
now,
think
granted, he didn't coach at like major college
Baylor's
programs per se. Well, Baylor, okay, but like he didn't come in at the same level of these other coaches that were so lauded. Like he was good, but I don't think anybody ever expected him to, like win a national championship. He wasn't that kind of coach.
Well, I wouldn't consider that NFL experience. I mean, he was assistant offensive line coach for a year. But
he's still a college coach.
Right. What I'm saying though is like it's not like Urban Meyer, who's never coached any position, like even position wise.
True. Yes, that is true.
That's my only gripe. I'm saying is like
there is a slight difference.
I mean, Steve Spurrier tried it and it was like, hello, Trainwreck City in Washington.
Yeah, also terrible. So I'm sure there are ones here and there, but all of the big name ones that led big name college programs and that were extremely successful in college have not made the transition. And that should tell you something when hiring a college coach.
I would never hire a college coach.
No, I wouldn't either.
Not just because the transition between college and pro game. It's not even that. I would fully expect a college coach to be like, you know what, I'm going back to the college ranks.
Yeah, they're going to bounce. They're going to bounce because they get paid more money for an easier job.
Well, easier because easier to coach, easier overall, probably not. Because alumni,
but like think about it. If you're Nick Saban, your team kind of runs itself.
The only coach in our generation besides Matt Rule that looks pretty good, that was a good college high school pro coach, Jim Harbaugh.
I forgot he coached. I forgot he was Stanford, right?
Well, Stanford, University of California, San Diego.
So he's okay. He's a very good example.
Well, he was also an NFL quarterback who was good but not great, and
true.
Apparently, he does not know how to throw a punch or throw a correct way.
He broke his 3-year rule too.
He also broke his hand on Jim Kelly's jaw. Jim Kelly talked shit and he missed like 8 weeks of the season. That's why the Colts got Peyton Manning.
But yeah, he broke his 3-year rule.
Well, he's actually winning this year. They're 5-0. Michigan, as if you haven't seen like they went into Wisconsin and just beat the ever living shit out of them.
Well, they're a good team. They're a good.
That doesn't matter.
I mean, the Big Ten is a solid looking conference. Well, you have 2 of the top teams in the country now. You have Michigan, you have Penn State, which is probably going to be number 3 going into next week.
Yeah, with Oregon losing last night. Yeah. Easily. To Stanford, no less, which is there's a circle of life there.
But yeah, it should tell you something about what's lacking between, and like people always talk about like, oh, you look at quarterbacks, like Alabama, great college program, arguably one of the best college programs from top to bottom. As I mentioned before, I think it runs itself. I don't think Nick Saban needs to literally do any work at this point. Recruiting probably doesn't have to do it. People just want to play. The best players in high school want to go play for Alabama because of its pedigree.
I would say the best. That's good Alabama quarterback was probably Joe Namath.
Yeah, it's been a minute since they've had a good one. Now, again, is that not to say is it too early for the jury to be out on Tua? Is it too early for the jury to be out on Jalen Hurts? Like, there's certain guys where it's like, okay,
well, Jalen Hurts transferred too.
But he was an Alabama quarterback. He played 1 year at Oklahoma.
And don't forget Mac Jones. Mac Jones was there too.
Yeah, jury's
out. I would say
But more often than not, Alabama quarterbacks do not do well. USC quarterbacks do not do well. There's certain colleges that they're really good college programs, but they don't produce good quarterbacks. If you look at some of the best quarterbacks of all time, you can't even name where they went to. Like, you don't know anything. Big Ben, University of Miami, Ohio.
Well, it's Miami University, not University of Miami.
Regardless,
I know it's
of Ohio.
Right, but the point though is like it's Miami University. I think I have to stress it to people all the time.
Okay, whatever. I don't care. It's in Ohio. Who cares?
Right.
It's Cleveland. Who cares?
It's not close to Cleveland.
But whatever. It's Ohio. Who cares? Just get the whole state on the list now.
Well, that's my point I'm making though. Is like that's why Dwayne Haskins shit. But well, I have to say, always explain to people what's the difference between my. They always ask, "Oh, what's the difference between Miami University?" It's the same thing as the University of Miami. No, it's
Yeah.
not.
No, it is not.
I mean, Miami
There are
University is
certain
in
ways
Ohio.
to, yeah,
University of Miami's in Florida.
very different. But even if they were University of Miami, Ohio,
I think. Yeah,
they're
you always.
still a
I'm sure.
small little school in Ohio.
Well, like you said, you
Produce one of the
probably
greatest
people.
quarterbacks. Going to be in the Hall of Fame.
I wish he wasn't.
Well, can't do anything about it. He's played decent enough to go. Tom Brady,
Yeah.
Michigan. Okay, sure. But
Well,
dude was a walk-on at Michigan.
And he only played like the reason why he
Yeah.
got drafted because he beat Ohio State twice.
Yeah. And he only started in the NFL because Drew Bledsoe got injured. So
Yeah,
one man's loss, another man's gain.
Unrelated note, fuck Mo Lewis.
Tell us how you really feel.
I mean, they even said I think they were ready to get rid of him if like Bledsoe never gets hurt.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's because why would you? You just got Drew Bledsoe.
Right, that's true. Drew Bledsoe was not a bad quarterback.
Yeah, you got a 6'5" guy with a rocket arm. He's like everything you want in a goddamn quarterback. And he can pull out random spurts of running, which is amazing for a guy that like would look like a freaking like lost. Like he looked like a freaking lumberjack running down the field, looking really uncomfortable at all times. But anyway, it's like, yeah. I mean, you say people can't name him, like, you know.
I mean, like even Drew Brees.
I can.
Purdue. Not that Purdue is not a name in terms of it being a school, but it's not a football powerhouse.
Well, he's the anomaly in all this because he also had like 11,000 yards passing at Purdue.
Yeah, that is true. He was pretty good.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, most people that most quarterbacks get drafted on potential.
True.
I mean, unless you're like Trevor Lawrence, where he's like, holy shit, amazing, and you're like, okay, after a freshman year, yeah, whenever he leaves the college ranks, he's the number 1 overall pick. There's like no debate. Like even after freshman years, like he probably could have left after freshman year, like the same way he is right now.
Oh yeah.
Where he's like, he's thrown 68% completion percentage in college. He's throwing 4,000 yards in college. I mean, stats don't mean everything because I mean, you get quarterback, you get college is weird because like, they got teams like I'm trying to think like the University of Houston, for example, like back in the day, was so pass heavy. They would run the ball 75% of the time. I mean, David Killinger was an 8th overall pick to Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. This is how the Bungles basically started, because they took this guy. It's like he had like every passing mark, I think, until like recently, like Timmy Chang and the late Cole Brennan passed him. And he had 13,000 yards passing and like 200 touchdowns. Yeah. It was like the numbers were like astronomical. It's like, how the hell does this guy get so much? And then you find out, by the way, like they just pass all the time, and like they have no defense. So you'll see games where like he throws for like 700 yards and like 8 touchdowns, but like they may lead you lose the game despite that because they have no defense at all, and they may lose like 70-64.
That's just insane when you are so much better than everybody else, but you can't win because your defense is literally paper. It's Swiss cheese.
Or like, well, it's like, or like you go to a big school, it's like big schools just for some reason do not produce quarterbacks 9 times out of 10. I mean, you get the anomalies like Miami gets like Jim Kelly, Bernie Kosar, and Vinny Testaverde in the 80s.
Right.
But they don't get anything after that. And you get like, and you have arguably the best team in college football history, the 2001 Miami Hurricanes, led by Ken Dorsey, who's now the quarterback coach of Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm looking at a list now of the active quarterbacks and where they're from.
I could probably name most of them.
All right, we'll put it to the test. Matt Ryan.
Boston College.
Lamar Jackson.
Louisville.
I'm just going to skip Josh Allen because if you don't know that, then
Ridley College.
We got bigger problems.
Did you hear me?
No.
Ridley College. It's the community college you went to before you went to Wyoming.
Dak Prescott.
With Mississippi State.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Louisville as well.
Yeah, 2 Louisvilles on this list. Davis Mills.
Wait, hold on. it's a smaller school. I think it's like Southern Mississippi or Mississippi State or
Everyone's
something.
favorite bridge troll. Stanford.
That's right. He went to Dakota Stanford.
Carson Wentz.
North Dakota State.
Patrick Mahomes.
I think he went to Oklahoma for a cup of coffee. Then went to A&M or Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. Derek Carr.
Fresno State.
Jacoby Brissett.
NC State.
Daniel Jones.
Duke.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Eastern Illinois.
Ryan Tannehill.
Texas A&M.
Taylor Heineke.
That one I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. I think it's in Virginia.
Old Dominion.
Old Dominion. So you did a lot better than I would have expected. You only got one wrong.
I have this game called John Madden Football. I play every year since I was 5. And they have the name, years pro, and what college.
Oh, they show the college, yeah.
That helps. I usually watch college football, so I actually see these kids develop, which is crazy to watch now. It's when you watch someone like a Trevor Lawrence from Clemson, by the way, cheap plug there.
That was an easy one. I skipped any of the rookies.
But my point though is you watch him you watch his first game. It was like watching what's his name? Quarterback from New Orleans, throws a lot of pick. I just bring down his name. The normal pick. Jameis Winston. It's I remember his first game. And he goes, this kid's gonna be a star. And you watch him, and then you get invested. You watch this guy. Okay, he kicked the shit out of this team. First game, he's 18 years old, freshman. What's he gonna do week 2? And he does the same thing again. And you keep just watching. It's you see this guy develop for 3 years. And well, we know who the first overall pick is gonna be.
Right.
It's fun to see there's no brainer ones. It's unless you're a team like Jacksonville, if they finish 1-15, they have the number 1 pick. They're not going to take another quarterback. Did we lose you, or I see. Sniffles and live TV. It's a good combo.
Hey, I had to scratch my nose. I was I ain't doing this on camera. I don't need to be memed again.
What? No, I'll definitely just GIF it. That'd be better.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I won't meme that. That's definitely a solid GIF though. But it's stuff like that. It's you just see guys no matter the position too. It's you see this guy's you see, oh cool, this guy's a sophomore, junior, freshman. Oh.
Yeah, you get to learn the player before they go into the league, and it sounds pretty cool.
It really is. It's amazing to see sometimes when you see, like I said, a kid a freshman, your quarterback come out of seemingly nowhere and go. A Matt Leinart was the same way. It's
hoo-hoo. All right, good. Najee Harris, you do you.
I mean, did you hear about Najee Harris 2 weeks ago? I think it was for Cincinnati.
No.
What they did to him? How many targets he had?
No.
He had 19 targets in the game.
Damn.
For a rookie running back who's not known for catching the ball.
That is insane.
Well, when you got a quarterback that can, I don't know, because we haven't talked basically the whole season yet. It's when I went to when the Bills Steelers game happened week 1, I'm not calling all Steelers fans idiots, but this guy was an idiot Steelers fan.
Also, I did not mean Najee Harris. He plays for the Steelers. I meant the Patriots Harris. Damian Harris. That's his name.
Okay, close.
I saw Harris, and I immediately my brain went oh, Najee Harris, because he's the important one.
Yeah, because he plays for New England Magically too. Anyway, so he's the guy's Ben should throw the ball. Ben's got to throw it long. I'm dude, physically can't. Yeah, he can.
No, his arm is done.
He hit Tommy John surgery 2 years ago. He can throw maybe 20 yards, maybe 25. He puts a little steroids into it. He's no, he can throw 50 yards a week, dude.
But he doesn't even have the guys anymore to throw those deep
Well, they're all
bombs.
hurt right now, too.
But Emmanuel Sanders is gone. Antonio Brown is gone.
Well, you know where Emmanuel Sanders is
deep threats. Yeah.
He looks kind of good in Buffalo.
but like his deep threats are gone. So even if he could still throw the ball,
he's got Chase Claypool.
When healthy.
Yeah, when healthy, exactly. It's like
Chase Claypool is a great receiver, but he can't stay on the field.
What if he doesn't dance on logos?
But yeah, all back to the most NFL quarterbacks. Now, granted, this current list, not all of them are going to be Hall of Famers or whatever, but even just looking at the current list, like, you don't expect to see a Duke on there. You don't expect to see a Fresno State.
A Wyoming.
Like, there's definitely schools where they are not known for their football programs. The North Dakota State. Like, there's schools that you just don't think of.
North Dakota State, I'll give a pass.
Producing NFL wide receivers. They're like D1A.
But they don't lose, like, ever.
Sure, because look at the competition. When you're the best in like, if you put them in the same league as even Duke or Wyoming, they're gonna get their ass kicked.
I don't think they would, because, like, remember this year they've had a lot of double teams win, or FBS.
I don't know. I feel like they're
I think
best of a bad division.
But I still think they would hold their own against like a team like a Duke.
If you put Wentz's North Dakota State team against Daniel Jones's Duke team,
I think Wentz wins like 95 times out of 100. I'm not kidding you. I think they are that good.
I don't know about that.
I mean,
but Duke also is not that good either, so it's not a great example.
I'm not saying if they won't be going to Tuscaloosa and beat Nick Saban.
Yeah, they're gonna beat Alabama.
I don't think anyone. I think the only team that may beat Alabama is Georgia.
This year there's not really too much competition.
Jesus Christ! I don't know if you've seen two straight games for the SEC, 2 straight shutouts.
Yeah, which is incredible. You don't shut out the SEC. You just don't do it.
Well, especially when it's conference rivals and you're doing against them. We see every year. It's like, what are you doing?
See. The whole defense wins championships adage doesn't really hold true anymore.
Well,
especially in college.
Well, I think the SEC.
Look at how good Notre Dame's defense was, and they got on by Alabama. Completely shit on. Monte Teo and his invisible girlfriend got shit on by Alabama.
And they got shit on last year too by Alabama.
Well, he's all getting shit on by Alabama.
Well, I mean,
they got shit on by a lot of teams last year, though.
I don't know if you saw me crocodile tears with Notre Dame. If you guys haven't known, I don't think we're gonna be from South Bend anytime soon, because my disdain for Notre Dame, just by I'm half Irish, which makes it 1,000 times better. It's I hate Notre Dame with a passion. So yeah, let's see. Crazy games today. Like I said, crazy games in football. Tampa Bay finally took the lead to start the fourth quarter. It's 13-7, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, New England's driving.
Good, maybe we'll play in go play in traffic.
I want New England to win. I would love nothing more than Brady to lose in his homecoming.
I would love to see the bomb happen.
I respect Tom Brady for what he's done at this stage of the game. It is really, yes, there were the cheating and the scandals and all that, but
better at 44 than he was at 34.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's just the idea of you can still hate Tom Brady, you can still, not like him, but you can't at this stage of the game. I feel like you can't not respect what he's done and what he continues to do. The fact that he's 40 years old and he's
44.
Having his best season. Yeah, 44. He's having one of his best seasons. He threw for 40 touchdowns last year. The dude is beating Father Time. He's ultimately going to lose to Father Time, but right now he's pushing Father Time back.
My only argument
is he could play till 50.
I don't think he will, just because of the fact I think he takes one good hit and Giselle goes.
Yeah, he's probably done 45, 46. But
yeah,
he could play to and at this stage of the game, like I said, I'm not going to waste any more effort hating Tom Brady. Mostly I'll just move that to hating Bill Belichick. But at the same time, I don't have that same vitriol towards the Patriots now that they're not this Super Bowl juggernaut. They're not a dynasty anymore. They're just a team. They're a beatable team. There's nothing special about them. Now I hate Tampa Bay.
I still chuckle at the I don't know if you ever saw the comments like that happened with what was it with shit what was it oh it was with
New
Tom
England's
Brady
about
and
to take the lead.
Tampa it was with Tampa Bay or it was with Tom Brady and Philip Rivers.
No, I didn't see him. Oh, the thing about kids,
Yeah,
more rings than kids or something.
Yeah, he wants to have as many rings as as Carson Wentz. Jeez, and it's the Indianapolis thing. As
9 rings. Well, he's close.
Well, he's at 7.
Yep, he only needs 2 more.
Yeah, but Phil Rivers replied that he also he guys got those without cheating.
Phil Rivers also could have more kids, just whenever he wants. Start popping them out.
Yeah, he's a good old Catholic. A good old Catholic family. they want a football team, not just a baseball team.
Yeah. Yep. Field goal or extra point is good. Mac Jones is up on Tom Brady. It's gonna be the headline in the Bostonian tomorrow. Mac Jones, new hero, new star. Tom Brady sucks.
Well, they're not gonna say Tom Brady sucks. I mean, I'm seriously kind of disappointed in Tampa Bay's play right now.
Yeah, they don't look good. And it can't just be missing Gronk. Like, missing Gronk's a big part of their offense, but he's really the only guy that they're missing. Godwin's still out there. Mike Evans is still out there. Leonard Fournette is still out there.
Antonio Brown's there still.
Yeah, Antonio Brown is still there. And he's looked better than he has in a long time. So, I don't know. I mean, the quarterback comparison is close. But yeah, Mac Jones is crushing it. 24 out of 29. Brady's only 17 for 32.
That's very un-Brady-like.
It is very un-Brady-like. But maybe the emotions of being back, maybe they affected him more than he'll ever like to admit.
I kind of want Tampa Bay just to win just because I don't want to be. I'd rather have a 2-game lead on the entire AFC East.
Yeah, but who cares? The Patriots are not going to win that many more games.
I hope not.
They're not that good of a team.
So, like, I'm just looking at the last 2 drives were both touchdowns. And Mac Jones got a fumble. Let's see, an interception. Jesus.
2 touchdowns, won it.
But yeah, I was to say so. Let's see any other crazy games today. Like I said, I saw some highlights from games. Like the Jets won.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing.
Well, I mean, I kind of get because Julio Jones
Zach Wilson finally got a dub.
Well, geez, Antonio, like I said, Julio Jones and AJ Brown both out for
Tennessee.
Yeah, and Bud Dupree was out for Tennessee. It's like,
oh, I didn't realize Dupree was out too. Yeah, they were pretty much walking wounded.
And their defense still has got off.
Yeah, that's they're not going to be as good this year because their defense is not catching. Ryan Tannehill also hasn't looked as good as he did last year.
I think the defense has been figured out. Thanks, Baltimore, for that.
But yeah, Atlanta blew another game.
Yeah, sorry if you've heard this one.
They blew it to Washington too, who's really not much better. But
yeah, hey. It's funny. I thought I was going to beat the entire NFC East this year. It's good because they beat the Giants. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Bears beat a slightly worse Lions team.
I am so pissed off. I'm so annoyed. I'm sorry, Ryan. You're a good friend of the show. But my God, stop talking about how great Justin Fields is.
Hey, he's allowed to you talk about how great Josh Allen is. He's allowed to like Justin Fields. Allen was not that good at the beginning of his career either. So who knows where Justin Fields is going to end up.
But he also goes, even last week, he was still talking about great. He had 1 net passing yard.
Maybe he saw something that he's looking, this is something he did really well.
Yeah, they didn't die. You have to get sacked 9 times.
That's not his fault.
That's David Carr syndrome.
Poor David Carr.
It's funny because it's true because he had
Browns won a real barn burner.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Yeah.
The Jets and the Giants won in the same week.
Well,
that hasn't happened in I don't even know how long. That last tweet about New York football.
Yeah,
They're
but
gonna have a nice tweet today.
well, yeah, because all three of them need to
Oh, they don't care about the Bills, clearly.
Oh, I'm fully aware. I saw enough graphics last week. Like look like the first like 2 straight years the Giants started 0-4 or 0-3, and the Jets started 0-3 again. It's like it says a poor day for New York when Buffalo Bills tweeted out, guys, we actually play in New York.
I think it's because Western New York feels so far removed from New York. Like when most people think about New York, they think about New York City.
Oh.
And not even to say that the Jets and Giants play in New York, but New York is literally in their name, so it's almost synonymous.
I get it. It's like Thurman Thomas thought that too. He's like, oh, cool, I go to New York City. Yeah, you're about 8 hours away.
Yeah, like it's not to say that I think people in New York don't know the Bills exist, but the fan base for the Jets and the Giants is completely different than the fan base for the Bills. They're so far removed.
Oh, absolutely. It's just funny though to me. It's like stuff like that. It's like,
did you get him? Did you get him? Nope, you didn't get him. Tom, terrific, doing his thing.
He should go play in traffic.
But let's see here. We got the Giants. Like I said, they managed to both the Giants and the Jets. Funny enough, won in overtime.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to make of this. Are the Saints good? Did the Saints just catch the Green Bay Packers on a like kind of weird note in Week 1? Because the Packers have not looked at all the same team that.
Well, I think the same thing happened to the Packers is the same thing happened with the Bills. Like they got embarrassed Week 1 and just like,
hey, they just haven't sucked since.
And hey, you just woke up a sleeping giant. Good job.
I almost wonder if it was the Packers more. It's the whole like Aaron Rodgers thing kind of shaking itself out.
I think he threw the game. I really do.
I don't think he threw the game, but I definitely think he was foot off the gas.
Holy shit! Tom Brady got 6 yards rushing.
Yeah, he's adding up to his total.
That's like triples his career high.
It took him, I forget how many years to finally get 100 yards.
Last year.
Yeah, it was last year. That's right.
It was something that they compared him to Josh Allen to him because it was like it took Josh Allen like 4 games to get 100 yards rushing in a game, and it took Tom Brady 20 years to get 100 yards in his career.
Because he barely runs, which maybe that's part of the reason why he's still able to play into his mid-40s. You know, he's always had a good offensive line, and he doesn't put himself, literally throw himself out there in danger. So, I don't know. Maybe that's the key. Don't be a rushing quarterback. If you want longevity, don't. Drew Brees doesn't run. He lasted a long time. Phillip Rivers didn't really run. He also lasted a long time.
Well, that's because he got a superpower from making kids.
The children spurred him on.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got Chiefs over the Eagles.
No,
Seahawks over the Niners. That was a close one.
Well, what's him and Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt again.
Yeah.
So Trey Lance played and
Trey Lance time. They like him a lot. I've heard a lot of
positive
things coming out of that camp.
I have no doubt, but my God, he needs to sit a year.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're not doing him any favors by.
And Arizona shocked LA and SoFi.
So here's my thing about this, and I'm looking at the two scores next to each other. You're looking at what is probably going to be the most contested division in football. It's going to be the NFC West. 3, if not 4, of those teams will be in contention. The way the Cardinals have played lately, I'm throwing them in the pile. Like originally, I was like, oh, it's Rams, Seahawks, 49ers. But I think the Cardinals deserve to be thrown in there. I mean, they're hit or miss, but when they're hit, they're on. So you definitely can't count them out. The Steelers, I don't know why people still thought the Steelers were going to be good. Packers over Steelers, Ravens over the Broncos. The Ravens are going to be my surprise team of the year because when they lost 3,000 running backs, literally all of them, and then some. And then they signed somebody, and then he got injured. Like, literally, every running back available, they lost.
I still love that my youngest nephew picked the Raiders to beat the Ravens, too. And this was before any of them got hurt.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, you just don't know. But they, even before that, even before the injuries, the Ravens didn't look like they had a great team. They were decent, but, I'm still Browns all the way in the AFC North. I don't think the Ravens are going to win the division, but they're putting themselves in a decent position to fight for a wild card.
Absolutely. Excuse me. I've been up since like 3 o'clock this morning, so yeah, I'm still going strong at 11 o'clock on the East Coast. I mean, and tomorrow night we got another good matchup, and it's back in LA for the Chargers and the Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders have looked.
And they're
Derek
battle
Carr
tested. I mean,
doing his thing.
I mean, the worst team they beat is Miami. I mean, I don't care when it says like they beat the Steelers are bad. Yeah, they're bad, but they weren't bad when they played them.
Right. They played the Steelers, and they played them in Pittsburgh, right? When they beat the Steelers.
I believe so. Yeah. And then they went. I think they went into Baltimore, and then the Baltimore came to the Vegas and lost.
Yeah, that's That's Baltimore's only loss, right?
As far as I know, I think they lost one other time.
No, they lost in week 1.
What I thought.
What are you, Ravens?
On a BAL.
I'll just look up standings.
That helps. I could have sworn they were like 2-2.
No, 3-1. I was right. 3-1.
Yeah, I think
as are the Bengals, as are the Browns,
as are not the Steelers.
Yeah, they're the only I mean, they are also 3-1. Just you got to reverse the numbers.
Yes.
But no, I don't think the Bengals are going to hang around. They've had the benefit of an
Brady's
easy schedule,
driving.
But Ravens, Browns looking solid. The undefeated John Gruden finally got him to figure it out.
No. They're always like they're like the older Buffalo Bills where they start the season fast and then just they'll crash and burn by like week 8.
Oh yeah, Derek Carr will get injured and the whole thing. But they look good so far. The Broncos, I think, look a lot better than a lot of people were expecting. I mean, who would have thought that the Chiefs would have been sitting down there at 2-2?
The Broncos' defense is like Super Bowl quality. I'm saying that on the record. I don't care when it says their offense.
You think their defense is better than when they did win the Super Bowl, and Peyton Manning was like the worst quarterback in the NFL that year?
I'd say yes.
That's impressive. That was a Von Miller defense. I mean, this is also a Von Miller defense, but who would have thought coming back? He's how old now? 30-something?
Yeah.
He looks really good.
Well, remember, he's also got Bradley Chubb, who's like the greatest pass rusher that no one knows.
That is also true.
And he's
they have one of the best running backs.
Yeah.
Literally just runs over people. What else we got here?
Sorry, it's a force. It was like Zach Moss has been like running over running backers and safeties like all year this year for the Bills.
I still think the Browns running back
Chubb.
And his name, Chubb and Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is the best running back in football. He is just insane.
Well, when you're a defensive end playing running back.
Yeah, that's exactly like he's basically a fullback. And
he's a defensive end. No, he's a defensive end.
In a year when there's we don't have fullbacks anymore. It's just not really a position you see a lot of. But he has the build of a fullback.
Well, he's Eddie George.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, literally, he's Eddie George. They're the same size. Like people forget how big Eddie George was.
Same size, same team.
I mean, when you're 6'3", you're 250 pounds. Like if you know how to do, if you match your center of gravity right, I see Brady Brady's down to the 6-yard line.
Here's a fun fact. So there are 2 teams that are currently 0-4. One of them is not the Houston Texans.
Yes, I'm fully aware.
Who would have thought at the beginning of the season that the Lions and the Jaguars, like the Jaguars obviously, but the fact that the Lions are also 0-4, I did not see that coming. I know Jared Goff is not good, but
it's not even Jared Goff. I think it's just like I think it's
who have they played? They lost to the Bears. I don't think the Bears are very good. They lost to the Packers. That's legit. Okay, they've played a tough schedule. They've played the 49ers, the Packers, the Ravens.
They should be 1-3.
The Bears. Yeah, they probably should beat the Bears. Well, the Ravens game was close too.
I'm talking about the Ravens.
Oh, you're talking about the Ravens. Yeah, because that was a last-ditch effort by Lamar. But getting them into position where Justin Tucker could make history, and then history be broken.
And it should never have happened. The NFL screwed up.
Oh, did they? I didn't actually see the game.
Watch the play before the field goal.
Mm.
You know, usually they give you like a half a second of zero on delay game.
Yeah.
They had a full 3 seconds.
Oh, and they didn't call delay a game.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. And even the NFL admitted they screwed up.
Yeah, because they don't kick a 71-yard field goal.
Well, if you're Tucker, maybe.
I don't think they try a 71-yard field goal. I think we're more looking at Lamar Hail Mary
And it would
sort
go
of
up 45
territory.
yards.
But yeah, they have played a tough schedule. So
Yeah,
I give them that. And it doesn't really get any easier.
Well, the problem truly with Detroit is their coach. Like,
although they can beat the Vikings.
I don't know. Vikings are just weird.
Vikings are weird, but they could probably, they might be able to beat the Vikings. They'll lose to the Bengals. They'll lose to the Rams. The Eagles game, maybe. That's probably going to be a toss-up.
Well, the thing that was like I was going to say that my thing about the like Lions, that coach, like Matt Campbell, like Dan Campbell, he's either going to be the greatest coach ever, or he's Jim Thomas to the part 2.
They just have a run right now of terrible coaches, like Matt Patricia.
No, I also think
totally was terrible.
Well, like we've talked about before on the show, like going to Detroit's like going to hell. Like, I mean, it's the new Cleveland, and I don't mean that in a mean way, Cleveland, but you really think Detroit is
the new Cleveland.
Ooh. I mean,
look at.
I mean, when your best player on your team is your tight end, like. I'm looking at the lines like top 2 receivers today. Okay, do you know who Quintez Cephas is?
Yeah, because he's on my fantasy team.
But
I didn't start him this week because he did terrible last week.
But before that, did you know who he was?
No, literally had never heard of him. Only got him because he was on the waiver wire as like best available.
Like when you're like I said, when your best offensive weapon's your tight end, you took him 8th overall.
Hey. TJ Hawkinson's pretty good. Also on a different fantasy team.
But my point though is the fact that
there's nothing wrong with your best offensive weapon being a tight end. I feel like that's worked pretty well for Kansas City.
Well, they also got a ton of other weapons too.
They do also have Tyreek Hill, yes, and Mecole Hardman, and so there are other options there. But Detroit has Quintez, whatever the hell his name is. So yeah, there you go. Good guy.
Yeah. Like Jared Goff, 24-38, 299 yards and 2 touchdowns. The crazy thing about that Bills game today, the first play from scrimmage, Josh Allen throws a pick. it was like right into the safety too. I'm like, oh damn it, really? And
bad Josh, good Josh.
Bad Josh and like holy crap, amazing Josh. It was hilarious. It was like they got the defense just didn't break. It's like, I mean, it's not even the fact that they shut the Texans out, which is impressive in itself.
They also played a really bad team though.
But the funny thing is, like the first like drive, the Texans started on the Buffalo 8-yard line and couldn't get in the end zone.
Because they're the Texans.
They didn't even try a field goal.
They're terrible. They're not actively trying to win games. I'm convinced of it.
Yeah, I don't know how you fix that. Even quarterback, you could get Peyton Manning to play down there like next year at 21 years old, and I don't think the team is better.
No, because they're more than just a quarterback away.
They're a lot away because like almost every player's most players are on a 1-year deal.
The thing with Deshaun Watson is Deshaun Watson was able to hide a lot of their flaws because even though they didn't have good weapons, he could run.
They had good weapons.
And they had decent weapons up until they got rid of I was gonna say up until they got rid of Hopkins. They had decent weapons. Then they got rid of Hopkins and it's just been trash ever since. But he could hide some of those flaws because you had a quarterback who didn't need to throw it perfectly for the wide receiver. Like now, you're Davis Mills, if he's not literally right in between the numbers, these guys aren't catching it. Will Fuller's probably their best wide receiver, and he's injured.
Is Will Fuller on the team? I think he's on Miami.
Oh, that's right. He's on Miami. Another guy who was good and they got rid of. Can't even keep track of who's on this team anymore.
Yeah, let's see. I think Jabari's.
That would be generous. Oh man, but
for funsies, like I'm looking at their stats right now. Davis Mills was 11 for 21, 87 yards, and 4 picks.
Dude, this is wild. I'm looking at. I've moved on from football to baseball.
Yeah.
You could not ask for a
Up better.
more
Better game
Yankees
162.
Red Sox Game 1 wild card, one
You want-
game determines who gets in,
you
and
want-
then you've got the 17 of their last 18 games Cardinals. The Dodgers might win 100 games and lose in game 1.
The craziest thing is like
Win your division.
if the Yankees and Red Sox both lost today, and if Seattle won today,
Yeah, it would have
Because-
been the Mariners and the Blue Jays, right?
no, they would have to do like a 4-team tournament. Like they would do like
Oh,
a round.
seriously? They would have all been tied?
They would have a 4-way tie for the 2 wild card spots.
Damn. Yeah, that would have been crazy. Yeah, they would have to play playing games tomorrow.
They'd have to play more than one.
Yeah.
I think they said they had to play like 3 games
Jeez.
just to settle it to be fair, because it's like
Yeah.
yeah,
But
because Toronto beat the hell out of Baltimore 12-2 today.
damn. Well, this is the Orioles, so.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think it's like the Yankees had the hardest road of the 4 teams.
I wonder what the rotation is going to be. I'm assuming the Cardinals are going to start Wainwright. I wonder who the Dodgers are going to start.
It's not gonna be Kershaw.
No, I think it's going to be Bueller.
Well, Kershaw got hurt.
Yeah. That's why I think it's going to be Bueller.
He's like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be good for October.
But Yankees Red Sox. That's going to be.
Yeah, must see TV.
Where's that being played? Oh, it's in Boston.
Anyway, yeah.
Cool. Look at that, Nelson Aguilar. Doing work.
Yeah, Mary was shitty.
Learned how to catch after he left here. But
God.
yeah, that's gonna
Newton's
be
back in the red zone.
Whew. Yep. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
gonna be nuts.
The Texans had 2 rushers.
Ew.
Mark Ingram and David Johnson had a combined 11 carries for 45 yards.
Wait a second. I'm reading. I don't think that they would have played a play-in.
It was some
The
weird way.
Oh, in the event of a 4-way tie, the Yankees had the option to play either the Blue Jays in Toronto or the Red Sox in Boston.
I would take the Toronto Blue Jays in Toronto.
So they chose the Red Sox in Boston.
I would not have done that.
I think I would have, because they have been beating up on the Red Sox lately. Toronto, they have not matched up well against.
Which is weird because like the last like 5 years they've just destroyed even 2 years.
But you're talking about a different Blue Jays team. You're talking about Vlad. You're talking about Bo Bichette. You're talking about like
Oh, so
really,
funny.
really good team.
So funny you mentioned the Blue Jays, like because we do like the whole stupid promotion, like the Red Wings had like a stupid promotion. I mean, they've won every game. They got like the taco guy. Like if they get a strikeout, we get free tacos from Taco Bell.
Okay.
And that we were playing the Buffalo Bisons when the last game I went to this year. And the taco guy is free Kevin Biggio. I'm like, you picked the best player on the damn team.
That's just crazy.
And of course, the first pitch crushes like a home run. I'm like, oh, this is good.
Gotta get me some tacos.
Yeah, it's the crazy thing. You should come and watch a game sometime for that. It's like the team, like the rest of them, the team fans just don't give a shit at all.
No.
But
So-
we want our tacos.
So the whole thing with the Yankees and the Red Sox, it wasn't that they wouldn't play a 4-game playoff. It was that the Yankees got to choose who they faced. So this is if they all end tied. The Yankees would have chosen to face Boston, and then Toronto would have gotten Seattle. So yeah,
Man,
then they would play each other, and then I'm assuming they would still play this on Monday. The
Yeah.
winner of, so say the Yankees won, they beat the Red Sox, and the Mariners beat the Blue Jays. Then I'm assuming they would just play that game Monday because the playoffs start on Tuesday. Jeez,
Yeah.
that would have been insane. I
it would
mean,
have been
that
game
division,
163.
yeah, that division race turned into something I don't think anybody expected at the beginning of the
Not
year
even
because the
you.
Yankees looked terrible. They did not look good,
Well,
and the Red Sox looked like they were running
Odor
away with
just
this thing.
like Odor and getting Rizzo
Oh,
right.
and Gallo and yeah, like they made some deadline moves that I would have thought I mean, you can't sell when you're in New York, but I would have pegged them as sellers. But they honestly they made some moves and to their credit,
They made the right move.
they played great. And to Toronto's credit, Toronto got hot and they kept themselves in that race. You're talking about a 3-horse race in the AL East. It was incredible.
Yeah, for the wild card spot.
Yeah, not even for the division. The division was already locked up. Like 4
Yeah,
out of your 5 teams were competitive. Sorry, Baltimore, you're just
you're never
terrible.
gonna be competitive.
Yeah,
But their stadium,
never gonna be
nice.
good. Very nice stadium, very beautiful stadium. But
So,
yeah, sorry, never gonna be good.
And they've got the new Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah, that's true. But it's not as funny because it's not the Mets. It's not like LOL Orioles. With the Orioles, it's just like, oh, you're really sad, and I feel bad for you.
Yeah, the numbers are just the numbers are bad though.
Yeah, like I don't want to laugh at the Orioles. I feel bad for the Orioles. I want to laugh at the Mets because it's such a Mets thing to do. And I appreciate that.
But hold on.
Mets gonna Mets.
Let me see if I can find that stupid thing. I sent to my friend like how much what the breakdown's gonna be.
But yeah, that's
it's bad.
I can't wait for tomorrow's game. I don't even tend to like the postseason when my team is not in it, but damn, these wild card games are gonna be insane.
I know I sent it to her.
You could have Giants, Dodgers, and Yankees and or Red Sox versus the Rays. You'd have 2 divisional matchups in the next round.
Well, I know I sent it to her. It was like an embarrassing number for Baltimore to pay.
I doubt they even had the money to pay it.
I really don't think they do. What the hell is it? It's something absurd. It makes Bobby Bonilla blush. But it was something that here it is right here. 2022, they got to pay him. This is Chris Davis' contract, by the way, in case you're wondering what we're talking about. 2022, they got to pay him $23 million. Mind you, remember he retired in July. Okay.
Yeah.
From 2023 to 2025, they got paid $9.16 million a year. From 2026 to 2032, they got paid $3.5 million.
Whew.
And from 2023 to 2037, they got paid $1.4 million for a whopping total of $65 million to retire early.
Wow. Yeah, that's.
And they think they deferred it like the Mets did.
But it's just, I don't know. It's just not as funny.
Yeah, because I wonder if they pay him July 1st too. Curious.
I mean, the reason why they pay out July 1st is because that's the start of the new financial year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably his contract probably also is gonna kick over to July 1st.
Yeah, it's like Jesus, guys. Did Tampa score again, or New England, I should say? Or...
Yep. No, Fournette.
They kicked the field goal.
Yeah, Fournette dropped.
I'm at New England. I'm sorry. New England kicked a field goal to take the lead. So now we're just doing chip shots, really? Come on, huh?
Who would have thought this would have turned into a field goal game?
It's probably gonna end on a field goal game too, because I mean, God, Tampa. I mean, and they nailed Calvin away for pass interference for 31 yards. Oops.
Go New England, go! Tampa's probably gonna win this on a last minute Tom Brady drive.
Well, the way you stop that is don't give him the ball. I mean,
my dog has locked himself in the room.
That's awesome. Not gonna lie. I can still hear you. Did you hear me?
No.
I said I can still hear you. I'll get out.
I did not say get out.
It sounded like you did.
No, I said the door is open. Like it was open when you came in. How'd you lock yourself in here?
Some animals are just some kind of special. I don't care what they say. Is your resident dog lover saying that too? Yeah, I'm torn. I mean, I wouldn't mind Patriots going to 2-2, but just to see Brady lose at home back-to-back games, but especially lose at New England for the first time, like I'm still excited if I would guess the score of this game.
Yeah, it's a little lower scoring than probably would have expected, but
so the crazy thing about nice OPI
Tommy T still has time.
So I don't know if you saw the line for the Bills Texans game too.
No, I didn't.
The Bills were like giving up 18.5 points.
My gosh.
And they got 40.
Houston is so bad. I have never seen that. Reads like a college line.
Yeah, that's like the last time I saw a line like that. The last time I saw a line like that was the in the NFL. Was the Bills Vikings game like 4 years ago.
That is Josh Allen, crazy.
Where Josh Allen became a household name. That's when he jumped Anthony Barr. Yeah, I think the Vikings were like 14, like it's like 17.5, and they lost.
Oh, the bug has returned.
I blame your dog.
It's like one of those stink bugs too. They are freaking. Oh, I just pushed it into the trash can. Let's see if it figures out how to get out.
Yeah, so don't kill it because it attracts more bugs that way.
Well, normally I just take them outside.
Yeah, you didn't even. That's fine. It's like,
throw them out the window.
I think it's like stink bugs and spiders. If you kill them, where they do, they the future of them like learn not to go to that spot.
Interesting.
It's like a random like evolution thing they have.
Huh.
It's like they only scream after they die. Like.
But
I still give a good OPI and Mike Evans. He must have some
playoffs. Gonna be fun.
He absolutely are. Like I said, Yankees. Yeah, Yankees Red Sox on Tuesday. That's gonna be a fun one.
You got hockey starting. Some people like that.
I'm so mad right now. No. I was supposed to buy tickets for my nephew, my brother, my sister-in-law, and myself and the mom for like I said, the Summers opener.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention and bought the wrong game.
Oh.
and they're not letting me transfer it over.
Really?
Like
it's not like they would have sold out. I can't imagine.
Either way, it's still like the principle of the whole thing is like I found tickets in the same section for the same price. It's not gonna cost you anything to transfer these tickets.
Right.
And they won't do it. Because I didn't buy them at the box office in Buffalo.
Oh, that's stupid.
We're gonna keep on bugging them this week, see if we can get it changed.
Yeah.
Because they're not cheap tickets.
No, hockey never is.
That's what I'm trying. Like my friends that are diehard like hockey, like they have kids that play hockey. It's like you realize how much of a waste of my hockey. Like hockey's the fourth biggest sport in North America.
Yeah.
And they're like the top sport because like it's like you guys are charging $105 for tickets for a team that's actually garbage. And you get that a night for 40 games.
Yeah. And they make a lot of money.
And the thing that they like a lot of teams until like recently they really don't. You know? It's like I think only like a handful of hockey teams make money, and that's why there's so many damn lockouts. Like the big market teams lose so much money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like hockey teams are running at a loss. So speaking of people that own more than one sport, let's go to All Elite Wrestling.
Oh yeah, wrestling. That's a thing.
Yeah, we used to do that. We were quite good at it for 3 hours. Anyway, I think I have no problem with Grand Slam. I'm not bashing it. Like I don't know if you had this problem at your show, and this is one of my complaints to Mookie is like, who was like the Foley guy for like the sound effects for the ring? was way the hell off.
So I don't think ours was. If it was, I either didn't hear it because I was like all the way in the back, and all you heard were people cheering. You didn't even really hear like hitting on the mat, things like that. So I
But
don't necessarily
yeah,
know if it was off. It didn't seem like it was.
this guy was like they were horribly off. Like you hear the slams and it sounded like a freaking tidal wave came through, which is sure whatever.
Yeah.
Like they were kicking the mat, like just like the tag matches, like, and it was just like, and you could hear like reverb like crazy. It's like, so they started kicking the steel steps, like get the reverb right.
Ooh.
Or like sometimes you hit like one. I forgot who. I think Jungle Boy did like a hurricane and it was dead quiet.
Yeah.
Like Jungle Boy Adam Cole was fun, I have to say. It was nice seeing Danielson wrestle again.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good.
Like CM Punk was only supposed to come out to commentate for one match and he stayed the whole night.
Nice. But also, like, I'm assuming they didn't pipe the commentary in the arena.
No.
Yeah, see, I would have done that. If you have Punk on commentary, like the fans want to see him. If he's not going to wrestle, you at least want to hear him, talk.
Oh, I'm sure he had a field day like on Wednesday and Friday night.
Yeah.
But it was like, I was kind of surprised this building wasn't sold out. I was kind of disappointed. Just because all the emotion was in the,
Mm-hmm.
With it being like Rochester, with it being like the first time there because it's Brody Lee's hometown.
Well, I mean, I think we're learning with AEW that there is going to be a ceiling, at least for the time being, however long that ceiling lasts. But like, there's a peak to how many viewers they're going to get. There's a peak to how large. They just did a show in New York. Not to say, again, we're talking about New York City,
In
Buffalo area, very far apart, very different parts of the state.
Well, I would say that my only same thing. It's Brody Lee's hometown. You couldn't sell it out.
Maybe they can't sell out venues like that every week, though. Maybe they're not there. Maybe they're at a point where it's like pay-per-views, big special events. We can do these larger arenas, but maybe they're not there for other shows.
And then the night before that, I saw they released a Brody Lee documentary, like I Am Brody Lee.
Mm-hmm.
It was well done. I mean, I had a couple complaints about that. I mean, like it was too Rochester. Because like his whole career, I mean, I get they glazed over like the WWE because they could get rights to stuff more than likely.
Right.
But I mean, they spent it's a 3-hour documentary, first of all.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, oh cool, it's gonna be like an hour and a half, hour 45. No, it's 3 hours. It was like 2 hours 52 minutes. It was like too local for my liking in the sense that like my gripe with it was like not so much that I get the WWE. WWE's never gonna give rights to anything. Right. There's no way how Vince or Triple H will ever
or anyone. It's annoying. In a situation like this, I would like to believe that if AEW asked for footage and like
no, this was
the other way around.
This was not AEW.
Oh, this was an independent documentary.
Yes.
Oh.
And AEW didn't give hardly anything either.
Huh.
They had the clips like him doing the whole paper throw and like him swearing like uncensored. Funny as hell, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But they didn't have one AEW wrestler be interviewed.
Huh. It's kind of odd.
I'm thinking you have an in with AEW with your friend Mookie Harrington, who we went to high school with me. And these guys that did main guys that did the documentary that were interviewed were from Rochester.
Mm-hmm.
Mookie's from Rochester. You went to the majority guys that did the interviews went to Arcadia with me. Were 2 years older than me. You couldn't like just DM Chris and then like, hey, can we talk to like guys from the Dark Order?
Yeah.
Just to say, I get it'd be the same things like, oh, he was such a great guy. Like,
hell, I even think if they would have reached out to Tony Khan, he would have said yes.
Oh, in a heartbeat, I think you. Yeah. I honestly think even if you reached out to Vince McMahon, he probably would have said yes.
I would think so too. For something like this, I would think so.
Considering the fact they acknowledged his death on WWE TV and like they showed people's like reactions to it, right. I think they would have. Because he was so beloved, I think they would have, or at least released a statement.
Yeah.
But like I said, Tony, like the AEW, they just show like they show like all the stuff like Him just like swearing at the guys from Dark Order and all that.
Here we go. 2-minute drill. All you, Mac Jones.
Can you out Tom Brady?
That's what he's gonna have to do.
The
Oh, he doesn't
Stoners-
have to technically out Tom Brady, because he only needs a field goal.
Well, my point though is just like the whole like just it's gonna be yeah. Look at this. It's like the fourth quarter has been field goal type of a field goal. Like it's been like the third quarter is like the second half. Touchdown, third quarter. Then field goal, and Tampa Bay and New England's got the ball back.
Field goal. Exciting game.
Yeah, it's like watching paint dry. Well, Gina Root can all that. This is when Mac Jones throws a pick six.
Oh, he almost did. Oh, they're gonna call PI on that?
Well, Murray, it's in New England. Spoiler alert.
It's true. Yeah, Tom Brady's not getting the rest now.
He still is. Like that OPI week one for Dallas. Yeah, that wasn't called. Yeah, that was OPI.
Automatic first down.
20 yards too, and wow. You almost have him in midfield already. You've got
Yeah, they're almost in field goal range. It's a spot foul. You know what that means? They're gonna leave too much time on the clock.
maybe it's exactly what it's exactly like the Buccaneers did. It's like fuck this.
Yeah, like 2 minutes, plenty of time.
Especially for Brady, absolutely. Just go right ahead.
You can go.
Yeah,
Kill some clock.
Oh yeah, 500 Henry's on this team too. I mean, it really would be crazy to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to 2-2. It's kind of like the Kansas City Chiefs. By the way, you're welcome. We don't have to talk about this undefeated shit anymore.
Yeah, it didn't last long for either team.
I mean, I think one of the last undefeated teams is it's like Vegas and who else? There's like one, isn't there one other undefeated team right now? Like Arizona?
Are in Arizona? I don't know.
Yeah, Arizona's it's Arizona and Las Vegas right now. There are only 2 undefeated teams left. And it's week 4. So conceivably week 5, we might see no more undefeated teams. That's like the earliest I think they've ever going to be celebrating it, possibly.
Well, somebody being evaluated for a concussion.
They'll forget about it. Houston Texans are second place in the AFC South. Well, because that's pathetic.
Yeah, I mean that's just because the Jaguars are also in that division, and the Colts started really terribly.
The funny thing about the division, though, like the entire division's like negative, like net points.
Jeez.
Like it goes Tennessee's next 16, negative 649 for Houston, negative 14 for Indy, and negative 41 for the Jaguars.
Absolutely terrible.
And then there's the Bills. Their net points is 90. Is it the best in football? Yeah, and it's like the closest team is Arizona at 55. The Bills have 90 net points. Well, you know what helps a lot? When you get 2 shutouts in 4 weeks.
Well, yeah, when you have those kind of lopsided scores, it always throws those numbers a bit.
When you win 35, when you win 2 or 4 games, you win a combined 75-0, and it helps, without doubt. Yeah, we're basically waiting until like the end of the game ends, and we're going to probably call it a night. Because it's 11:30, and I got work in the morning, and I've been up forever and a day.
Yep, long day in the rain.
Oh yeah, trust me. It's. I mean, the weird thing is it rained a little bit during tailgating, and then like it stopped for a while, and then like we're with my buddy, I'm like, should we get a poncho?
Man, they were just letting them have these corners.
Well, I'm trying to think who's in the cornerbacks. I think Newman's like, I sorry, Tampa Bay secondary is like really banged up. I think. Like, Antoine Winfield Jr. is, I think, the only starter from like week one. Let's see. It's second time. They're gonna let him kick a field goal to win this game. It's only 40.
That's kind of how it feels like. Oh, maybe not.
3rd and 3 at the 37. I might be a play, but I'm not watching it on TV. I'm watching this on the NFL.com page.
Oh, okay.
I might be a play or two behind.
Just a play or two.
Well, it's not bad for me.
No, it's not bad.
Ooh. Yeah, you're like no man's land. You got to go for it on 4th and 3. Although I would almost pooch punt it here. I mean, Tampa's got 2 timeouts. You got to go.
Oh, he's good. Oh, and he's not. Oh, the last second. Oof. That hurts.
What happened? It was it hit the upright.
Yep.
Well, that's the ball game. Tampa won. Tom Brady squeaks out. I don't think they're gonna be cheering Tom Brady leaving the stadium tonight.
Oof. Yeah, that was.
Was good till it wasn't good.
It was good till it wasn't good.
Yeah, don't you know about that? And I know Chicago definitely knows about it. I know LA knows. LA Chargers know all about that.
All the doinks.
56 yards. Wow, that's a kick. It's like, why would you even? It's like 4th and 3, and you were kind of moving the ball. I was just gone for it. So Newland falls to 1 and 3. Tampa Bay goes up to 2 and 2 or 3 and 1. I would definitely not guess. Like, I mean, I think Tampa Bay. I'm trying to say LA lost. I beat Tampa Bay last week.
Yeah, I mean the Bucks have some fixing that they need to do.
Well, they got an 800-year-old quarterback. That's not helping.
Hey, this is the first game that he hasn't looked good.
And a lot of ego. I'm sorry, that's a lot of it. They can't sign like Sherman. It's like the Chiefs signing Josh Howard. Wow, Josh Gordon. It's like, why would you even consider it? Like, I
guess they're trying to give the guy another chance.
But holy hell, it's like he's had like 80. He's like Steve Howe.
Yeah, he's had a lot of chances. Yeah, this one's a wrap. Tampa Bay 3 and 1.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna call it a wrap too. I mean, like I said, it's almost midnight. And we can do a show under 2 hours. Like this, we're gonna do a show under 3 hours.
Very, very rare indeed.
Yeah. So how's the weather there too? By the way.
Weather is good. We're not raining here.
But the joke was like, I remember like the first time I did that, you were like, God damn it, you son of a bitch.
But yeah, I mean,
we'll do a show sooner than probably later.
Been a fun week, fun couple weeks in sports, and always more to talk about. You know, we'll have the playoffs starting. We'll have more football games.
Endless
maybe some hockey and basketball thrown in there. We'll see again, what develops in the Ben Simmons Sixers soap opera
and
that's going on.
And endless memes for me because
endless memes. All the memes.
Yeah, because Miss Mary Lee gave me the gift that keeps on giving.
The gift of meme.
Yeah.
Well, you have a good night. Everybody have a good night or good morning or good afternoon, whatever time zone you're in.
Yep.